course. All right, jump in when you jump in.
We are live. Gonna go ahead and hop into this game. We'll probably be sitting here for a couple minutes considering hero selection. So if we get the the 2-minute delay is what I'm gonna call it. The waiting on the delay.
First ban, being a trend here.
Got a cast from Dota TV. My screen is black. I don't even know how to pronounce this team's name.
Mugiwara Kaizoku.
We'll just call him MK.
Okay. I swear, Yuan, in the past games that we have casted together, these first bans look identical, except for in separate order.
You know what? That's true. World's End last night did ban out the Shadow Fiend Tusk. So what I'm going to go ahead and say here, in my lack of Dota 2 knowledge, is that it's based on the side that the players have chosen that it's based off of. So they're on the dire side. They don't want to deal with a Tuskar or a Shadow Fiend. And then if you're on the Radiant side, you don't want to deal with the Doom or the Slardar. So we're seeing similar picks coming out of Astral Authority as we saw in their last game against World's End. We see the Ember Spirit Bane pickup. Godlike probably going to be reprising his role in the Bane. I believe we'll see we'll see Slayer, on the Ember Spirit. Interesting pickup coming out of MK. Obviously, the Queen of Pain pickup, fairly standard, but the Silencer pickup, interesting. Go ahead and explain that pick for us.
Oh, well, I just like how it works, because seeing right off the bat that we have an Ember Spirit and a Bane, obviously a great counter would be a Silencer or some sort of control without having to stun or target necessarily, because the Ember alone is a very mobile hero, and Bane is typically in the back line, kind of interacting with the battle from afar, so some form of global control is great here. So the Silencer, kind of paired with the Queen of Pain, pure damage Scream and a Cone, I think is a really great pickup. And also the bans of the Tusk and Shadow Fiend, I think more so of the Tusk being just really heavily used right now for multiple purposes. He could be used as a core, he could be used as a support, and so on and so forth. And I know that a lot of people are looking at Astral right now as an up-and-coming team with the new meta. So to ban against that, I feel like it's intelligent to kind of know the meta and just ban out the base of the meta.
Good points. A Magnus ban coming out of MK. Not really one of Astral's heroes, possibly someone that they've had trouble dealing with in the past. The Undying ban coming out of Astral.
Right. Also very I feel intelligent. I'm assuming that, well, another pick we commonly see out of Astral Authority, but I'm assuming with the Undying ban, they're looking to kind of make a more of stand and fight lineup instead of a more and hit and get lineup, if you will. So I can understand that. Earthshaker coming out.
An interesting ban style here from MK. We see that we have one core. Now, I like where the Silencer was picked up, because it forces Astral to wonder about whether or not this Silencer is going to be core.
I feel that looking at this right now, we might see a 3 Silencer. I think he's gonna find his way up into the off lane. Earthshaker has been known to roam right now in this current patch, doing a lot of AoE right now. Is MK predicting maybe a tiny carry coming out right now, maybe even a Juggernaut from MK. Clockwork. We're just talking about this, Raph.
I'm
Great
really,
pick.
I really enjoy this pickup out of Astral Authority. It provides a good amount of lockdown, possibly into what we're going to see picked up by BSJ. And I would say it would be the gyrocopter, although we've seen that that's banned out. I'm interested to see what they will move into from here. They're looking for a lot of lockdown out of this clockwork and also from the engagement. We saw last night the similar lineup sort of failed in the very, very late game. BSJ's Alchemist, we saw the offlane Bristleback, not a lot of lockdown available to them on that team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Clockwork obviously coming in to provide some of this. And it looks like MK is just going for
AoE out the yin yang. Yes, of course, his ult Primal Roar is targeted, but the AoE effect of it can be used in countless different ways. I think Astral's last pick is really going to have to counter the fact of the AoEs. And again, Clockwork with the Astral Authority going in with the big playmaker. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw Lokarn or maybe even Slayer on it. Both of their big playmakers right now. Maybe give BSJ that Ember Spirit like you were talking about earlier and just let him do what he does and farm.
So they ban out the Spectre pickup. Astral still with a lot of reserve time here. They do pick up the BSJ Slark. I thought about saying this earlier, but it just didn't make a lot of sense to me with the cogs. I felt like you'd be looking for more of an AoE hero. This Slark almost, I would say, definitely going to BSJ, one of his favorite heroes.
Absolutely. It's definitely... BSJ is known for many heroes, but of what I know, Clark is one of them.
So, what it's looking like here for MK, this lineup with the Lycan there, it looks like they're going for a lot of team fight. Lycan obviously presents the ability to Roche and also for the split push. It looks like Astral Authority, seeing that out of their lineup, they're looking just to get the pickoffs, especially with this Slark as BSJ picks it up already.
Very excited to see this. I know Lokarn, one of his specialty is making those big plays. He is a avid fan of waiting for the absolute right moment to pop a spell. So I feel with having to deal with this silencer and all of these AoEs that we're going to see a lot of patience coming out from the Astral Authority lineup waiting for these team fights.
And so we're jumping right in. A little bit of lag coming in. On the Dire side. On the Dire side for MK, we have Sneaks on the Queen of Pain. We have Hoff on the Beastmaster. We have Manhua on the Lycan. We have Uncle Panda on the Silencer. And we have Katsu on the Earthshaker. On the Radiant side, Frozen, reprising his role as the Dazzle as well as Godlike on the Bane. Slayer back on the Ember Spirit. BSJ holding on to his favorite hero Slark. And Lokarn also on another signature hero in the Clockwork.
Absolutely excited. And for the lineup of Astral, it's looking like a mango kind of day. Dual mangoes rocking out on Godlike's Bane and Lokarn's Clockwork. Smoking up, though, right here is Dire. Maybe looking to do something, but getting an early ward down like Frozen normally does. TP's in the lane and gets his ward down. Really excited to see how this unfolds. It looks like Wanted has a very aggressive playstyle, and Astral is very comfortable with playing against those. So I feel as though it's really each team's game to lose at this point. Because it's only a minute before the game starts, Rafi. Oh. Might be seeing a little contact right now.
Frozen possibly revealing the smoke. Slayer in a little bit of trouble here.
Uh-oh.
Gonna wrap around. Slayer's Sleight of Fist is going to be first blood. Frozen possibly going to follow. Astral not really knowing how to follow up. A lot of early game potential here out of MK, and they do get the double kill.
That's bad, especially with Silencer being right there. That's 4 intelligence already in the way of Silencer, and I know that it's early game, and I know there's a lot of game left, but that's a hero that can snowball very well, especially depending on the position that he might be playing right now.
And this is really going to help to secure that rune in the bottom lane for MK here. BSJ going to get zoned out here by the Beastmaster. And we're going to see the Queen of Pain get the bounty rune. Slayer, even though he did die, does manage to get the bounty rune. Godlike, being the good teammate that he is, going to block this lane for his good friend Slayer.
Interesting. Running a 2-1-2. Really like how that's going to work out for them. Let's see if Lokarn can get his cog block off, if he's going to try for that. No. I think he's waiting to see the lane, because he does have the mana regen to just, if he needs to, rocket flare the lane down. Let's do a little bit of lane breakdown, huh? Right now we got the Manhwa, Lycan, and Uncle Panda on the Silencer coming up from behind Lokarn right now, trying to make some action happen. Lokarn, very, very tanky hero at the beginning of the game, especially with that Stout Shield. Going to just go ahead and live that one down. Cogs, first off. So we have Lokarn in the Clockwork versus the Manhwa, Lycan, and Silencer up top. Safe lane for Astral, we have BSJ with Frozen, with the Beastmaster solo offlane, which is what we're seeing. Action in the middle right now as Godlike just barely escapes after being stunned by a Fissure. Looks as though we have a Earthshaker roaming, doing what he does. Slayer also doing what he does in the middle and just working it down. Sneaks. Solo. I feel as though these lanes, they're really going to have to pay attention to their offlane right now. Very aggressive Silencer who's zoning out this Lokarn. I think that the key to success, especially for Astral's lineup, is obviously securing the farm for BSJ and making sure that Lokarn doesn't get picked off too much. And also, on the side of MK, I think that if a lot of farm goes towards the Beastmaster in the off lane, it can really be detrimental. Lokarn finding out the Silencer up top. Is he going to harass? Doing what he can. Oh, double cogs right there. Well played out. That's that patience we were talking about with Lokarn on this Clockwork.
Katsu possibly in a little bit of trouble here, spotted out by Godlike. Just going to take some right clicks, move away. Silencer coming down. Not going to be within range to throw that curse onto Godlike. I don't really like the last word pickup here by Uncle Panda. I understand its effectiveness and its ability to keep Lokarn from cogsing himself out of trouble here as he gets taken a little bit low here. But, you know, that double mango is providing him quite a bit of regen, as we see he's sitting here at 12.2 regen now that he picks up the ring. They're really not going to be able to force him
Drops it down,
out of lane quite yet.
Well, let's see. On paper, Roth, no names of players being used right now. You see both of these drafts. Which one are you more afraid of?
I'm more afraid of MK's lineup, and the only reason I say that is because if they can respond in the same way that we saw World's End make TP responses last night, that is a really scary counter initiation.
Hold that thought. Trouble up top right now as Lokarn gets caught out, but the Fissure is on the wrong side. Thank you for the Earthshaker for saving Lokarn's life of what could have been a small misplay right there. Obviously trying to keep him under lock right there. But as you were saying about Wanted, or MK, excuse me.
So, I do really like their lineup. It's a very scary counter initiation lineup. It really depends on their response time. Obviously, you know, a well-timed global silence into a roar, into a sonic wave, into an echo slam would just
Absolutely.
instantly melt any good team. But the thing here is that Astral's lineup is built around a pickoff. So they're going to have to be playing the counter initiation game. I think really what it's going to come down to is this Earthshaker play. Can Earthshaker make the stuns, make the blink-ins, and possibly even the Beastmaster as well with the Roar? You do have the two big stuns, but it's really going to come down to their counter initiation on the inevitable pickoffs coming out of Astral.
I agree 100% with that. We see a bottle being picked up right now on the Beastmaster. I think that was a pretty quick bottle, actually, for an off-lane Beastmaster. Doing well. Fisher block right now for Slayer, who's not level 6, doesn't have a Remnant able, but he's just got that Flame Guard, which is just so tanky. Oh, we might see a kill right here. Oh, popping the haste rune Nightmare, allowing Slayer to get into position. Is he going to be able to take anything? No. He's going to try and get out. Ooh, rotation in from the Silencer right now. Last word looking like they're going to counter-initiate on the Godlike. Triangle, do what he can. Slayer bounding him off, Frozen, TPing in. Is it going to be a first blood right here? Ooh, nice blink out, almost bringing him down right now as the team counter-initiates a counter-initiation. Great TP responses, as you were talking about right there from Astral, doing what they have to do to contend in this early game.
BSJ popping his salve in the bottom lane. A little concerning looking at his farm just on the net worth chart. Is being out-farmed here by this Beastmaster in the bottom lane. Having a little bit of trouble here. Beastmaster getting that early points into the boar.
Who is just that slow in this patch is just absolutely atrocious. Looking to make something happen up top. Low Karn brings him low. Nothing really happening. Maybe to make a rotation here on the bottom. This Beastmaster, let's talk about difference in farm right now between off lanes. It's absolutely just atrocious. Looking to make something happen right now on this Beastmaster as we're talking about difference in farm, and we're going to give the kill to BSJ. Great timing of the right clicks from Astral right now. Great rotations as we were talking about. Godlike having to make sure that his lanes are getting the farm that they need. Oh, Low Karn finding out Lycan up top right now. Is he going to be able to right click him down? It is going to be enough. A solo pick off right now by Low Karn's Clockwork. Great job of positioning himself. Question is, what is he going to buy? Is he going to buy his phase boots, or is he going to save up for more regeneration?
So this is what I was talking about when I favored Low Karn in this offlane situation. We do see the Earthshaker possibly.
Quick little 1-2, 1-2, life sap with an invisible rune that happened on Godlike, as you were saying.
I do still really like this matchup for Low Karn. As we saw, very able to take care of the Lycan all on his own. So when that Silencer inevitably had to rotate out, Low Karn maintains complete control of the lane. Battery Assault doing a great amount of damage, good keeping that stun up on Manhwa. Also with the Rocket Flare trapping in the cogs. Low Karn still doing a fair bit of damage himself, even though he doesn't really have much damage item to him. I love his ability to take control of the lane when the Silencer is not there to harass him out. It's really beneficial, and as you can see already, as we were talking about the overtaking in farm, he's overtaken the Beastmaster only by 100 gold, but he did overtake the Beastmaster there briefly after that kill.
Absolutely. The off lanes getting ganked by Beastmaster. Oh, Slayer in middle getting in trouble right now, getting a Primal Roar down. They're just going to burst him down. That's that CC we were talking about that Astral really has to be worried about. Not even having him time to use his remnants to get out, especially with the Silence, Fisher, Primal Roar. That is just so much damage, especially in the early game. You can really nuke with that. But in lieu of Beastmaster being in lane, BSJ has pushed the lane into tower, doing some damage.
And that's almost a 900 gold swing in favor of MK with the kill of that Ember Spirit. I don't think Slayer should be too worried. He is making good farm. That is only, his second death. But, it can't keep happening that often. Top lane, 3-man gank possibly coming out onto Low Karn. Katsu, only 1 point into the fissure. So only a 1-second stun. They're going to blink in. Fissure goes down. Silenced up. Low Karn in trouble. Sonic Wave comes out. He's looking to move into the trees. And the right clicks from the Queen of Pain are just going to do him in.
See, that was really smart of Low Karn. Unfortunately, he didn't cogs in the exact right position that he could have snuck into the trees and tried to TP, but his TP was on cooldown. So at that point, I think he was just trying to cause as much collateral as he could. But in the meantime, middle, Tier 1 taking some damage. Looks like we're going to see a trade right now. This is exactly the pace that I believe. Oh, middle Primal Roar coming out on Slayer. In trouble. Oh, what a nightmare. Getting his team out right there, but that boar, slowing down. Godlike. Is it going to be enough? He does have a remnant. Is he going to be able to use it, though? Getting a little aggressive. I feel as though he thought he could have saved, and gotten himself out, but having to use the Searing Change lowered his mana, so a little bit of mana mismanagement right there.
Now,
Slayer in middle.
That's exactly what we really didn't want to see come out of Slayer on the back of his first, or on his second death, excuse me. Dropped in the net worth chart from second to fourth, and that's also an 800 gold swing in favor of MK.
That's pretty big. And all the while, Lycan just doing his business in the jungle, getting up there in those last hits. I mean, BSJ has had pretty much free farm at bottom, and he has 66, 67 last hits, excuse me. Lycan's up there with just about 64, so another thing that Astral really has to be aware of is the silently farming Lycan. Looks like both teams jockeying for map awareness. The felling of the two towers, I believe, ended the laning phase. BSJ might be in a little bit of trouble right now as we see 3 heroes moving in on him.
BSJ does have his ult available to him.
Ooh, sensing it out. Oh, does he? Nice. Just gotta stay out of the range of that primal roar, which is pretty scary. These boars, just this slow. Max level, 40% movement slow. If he catches you, it's going to be very, very hard to get away from him. Player going behind tier 1 up top, doing what he can. Remnants away.
Does have the hook. Uncle Panda, is he going to get hooked? He is! He's going to catch the hook! Cogs are going to go down! Fissure coming out from the Earthshaker. Uncle Panda is going to manage to escape. Godlike moving in to help his friend. Throws the Nightmare down onto Sneaks, taking the brunt of the Sonic Wave. Lokarn just going to TP away. And a good response there by Wanted. I don't really know if we can call them Wanted with 3 stand-ins, but that is their name. Wanted really making a good response. Good play by the Earthshaker. Keep the Silencer from dying. It was a valiant engagement by Lokarn, but it just didn't go their way that time.
Well, the location of his Fissure at that time was on point. The Fissure...
Roar going down onto BSJ, bottom lane, BSJ pops the ultimate. Is Hoff going to go down? BSJ giving chase, throws down the Dark Pact, and he is going to manage to get him. He pounces into the trees, but Sneaks going to get him with the Scream.
Great play. Look at this team. MK really kind of playing out of the box, using the Fissure to push his own teammate outside of the cogs. That's a really unique use of Fissure. And although we did see a misplayed Fissure earlier, very impressive recovery right there. Sneaks really great game knowledge of knowing that he couldn't have gone that much far. Throwing out the Scream. MK playing really well. Frozen in trouble right now at top. Nothing too crazy. Going to go ahead and nuke down what he can in the lane.
Lokarn
MK
sitting in the middle. Sees Katsu, going to move forward. Is the Cogs going to go down? Cogs are going to go down. He is going to get silenced up, but I think he's going to deal enough damage here to Katsu. He is going to get him with a Rocket Flare. Battery Assault still going off. Uncle Panda now in a little bit of trouble. Lokarn just going to back up. BSJ moving in. Is he going to be able to pounce? He is going to pounce just in time. Dark Pack going off. Is he going to be able to kill Uncle Panda in time? No. Ult going to expire. Sneaks thinking he might want to move in. BSJ just going to purge it off.
That was a very aggressive play. He wanted it. Almost got it. Once he gets more attack speed, these are going to just stack up, especially with that Essence Shift. Slayer, bottom lane. Binds the Beastmaster. Is he going to be able to do enough damage right now, though? Ooh,
Roar coming out of the Beastmaster. Poison damage from the double boar.
Ooh, Beastmaster in trouble right now. He's too deep. Team can't respond.
Does manage to get Slayer with the wild axes. Really great play by Hoff, but he is going to be chased down.
Again, great placement. Well, not again, but this ward really, really allowed for him to open that up. That was some great ward action right there.
Lokarn does have the hook available.
Big playmaker time. Does he have the patience? We do have the global ult.
BSJ TPing in.
And we're in pursuit right now. BSJ going uphill. This is scary. But they want a piece of it.
BSJ moving forward. Fissure keeping his teammates from him. He's gonna take down Manwa. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, Uncle Panda going down to the battery assault of Lokarn. BSJ gets the right clicks down on Katsu. Sneaks hiding in the woods. as Astral begins their push on this Tier 2 tower. They know that Sneaks has to be somewhere around. Lokarn's Rocket Flare going to miss him just a bit as he moves to farm that top creep wave. Sneaks going to blink away.
Great team fight right there by Astral. Who'd have thunk how good of a counter Flark is? You just have to be really, really preemptive with that Dark Pact when you're going into a team fight to purge off most of those abilities.
Absolutely, and that's just something that comes with, you know, having a player like BSJ who knows the ins and outs of that hero.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
TP's coming in the mid lane. Slayer goes with the Searing Chain's gonna keep Manwa in place as all of Wanted rotates in. Frozen in a little bit of trouble. Double bore action. Gets the roar proc from Hoff to cancel the TP. And the Scream of Pain brings him down. Good job procking out the roar, though. They did have to expend the ultimate. Granted, not that big of a cooldown, only 75 seconds.
Right. And meanwhile, this Lycan still silently farming his way into the top. Great split pusher. Right now, works perfectly with this AoE lineup for MK. Gonna get a free Roche right here. Getting spotted out a little late. BSJ finding his way at the top of the net worth chart. And at this point, I think Astral is just looking to get any econ they can. Maybe bully down this top tier 1 tower. Slayer, using the space that Roshan created for him. It looks like he's going to get it for free, no real contention.
Now, the real problem that I'm seeing here is that Astral's lineup is very gank-oriented or very pick-off-oriented. They only have one ward on the map.
Right, absolutely.
Meanwhile, Wanted, having several wards in the opposing jungle, does them a great job of being able to avoid those ganks that are so crucial to Astral's playstyle with this current lineup. And it looks like they're just going to drop this bottom tier 1 tower for free.
Absolutely. That Vlad's and Howl combination really allowing some damage output right now. Slayer walking into tier 2.
BSJ with the Lothar is going to manage to pop the smoke. No dust. The sentry ward does go down. BSJ is spotted out. Throws down the Dark Pact, going to be enough to bring down the Silencer. Sonic Wave coming out of the Queen of Pain. BSJ ulting away. Godlike moving in. Throws the Nightmare up on Manwa. Force staffs himself away. Is it going to be enough? Manwa giving chase. Is going to go down. BSJ manages to pin the Queen of Pain. Dark Pact going off, Manwa getting low, BSJ also getting low as well. Shadow blading away, Lokarn trying to get out. Cogs in 2 seconds, but it's not going to be enough as Sneaks fresh up. BSJ coming back in, does get the kill on Manwa, but it will cost him his life.
Oh boy, that was what started off great for Astral, turned quickly on their head in the favor of MK.
And that's about a 1,600 gold swing in the favor of MK.
Ooh.
Although that fight was without a Dazzle, they didn't have Weave or a Heal Bomb to help them out down there. It was a very messy fight, not exactly one that they wanted to take, but in the meantime, Frozen putting lots of wards in place in the dire jungle, still with that ward in the middle lane, going to help Astral possibly recover here.
Right. Lots of, I feel like what's going to come down to at this game is both teams very comfortable in their draft, obviously. It's going to come down to synergy as a team. Obviously, Clockwork showing that Force Staff to save a teammate, which created the space to draw out BSJ to pick off on the backline. However, Wanted with that AoE damage, just enough to nuke down everybody who was in the relatively same area, so.
BSJ being pinged out in the mid lane. Sentry is down for Wanted.
Solar Crest up on Lycan. Lots of damage redux right now coming from the side of MK, so solo pickoffs are going to be a little bit more of an option right now. Great flare from Lokarn, spotting out the team in middle.
BSJ dropping low on those drum charges. They do spot out Manwa. Katsu on the back line does have the Fissure ready. 3 levels into Fissure. Does have his Echo Slam available to him now.
BSJ looking to loop around, but they have that sentry ward there for another 27 seconds. Gonna farm out their jungle while they're pushing in.
Manwa moving into the jungle. BSJ going to have to be careful here. Is going to get spotted out by Manwa. It's going to prompt rotation in from Katsu. BSJ just going to move further away.
All the while, Slayer split pushing for his team, trying to do what damage he can to keep his team in this game right now as MK begins to slowly snowball. Looking at the graphs right now, it's actually pretty even. 1,000 in favor of gold for Astral, and 1,500 in favor of experience for Astral as well. So,
Stand-in sneaks and Uncle Panda moving into the bottom lane. Looking to find Slayer, not going to find him. Slayer just going to move away. Hawk is going to come in to scout him out. They are going to find him. They do have the blink in available. Slayer sensing danger, killing the Hawk, moving forward. Hoff hasn't thrown the roar yet. Will he throw it for Godlike?
ooh,
Godlike still managing to survive with the help of Nightmare. Gonna get taken down. Scream coming out of the Queen of Pain. Pops the double damager, and Lokarn in a little bit of trouble. Tries to hook away, but the Sonic Wave is gonna do him in. Slayer trying to remnant forward. Roar has been used. BSJ jumping off the cliff will survive. Frozen healing up his teammates. BSJ jumping in on Manwa, throws down the Dark Pact. Is it going to be enough to bring him down? BSJ going to right-click him. The Grave coming out from Frozen, keeping BSJ alive. Hoff still wanting that kill. Wolves in chase as well. Going to cost Hoff his life. Slayer remnants up to the high ground. Uncle Panda just going to TP out. Queen of Pain going to blink away. TP's coming out from Astral as they're looking to mount a counter push off of these kills.
that was a very drawn-out team fight. It looks like it's a 2 for 3 in favor of Astral right there, with a 1,000 in change gold.
Katsu going to go ahead and deny this tier 2 tower is what it's looking like. Throwing down the enchant totems, bringing it down low. Here comes BSJ. There goes the tower. BSJ throws down the Shadow Blade. He's going to pounce. He does nab Katsu. Gets the Dark Pact, and it's going to be enough to bring him down. He still has his ult available to him as he tries to get out.
Oh man, that's that preemptive Dark Pact we're talking about, of somebody that's just a comfortable Slark player. Really creating some plays right here. BSJ, while his team just does what they can with the space created. That is, again, another impressive play on Slark. BSJ showing why he's one of the top players at him in the North Americas, so. Picking up an Invis rune. No spotting it out for his teammate.
Godlike really going to have to be careful. Does pick up the gem. Or he picked up a gem. Possibly, it seems. No, it is owned by Godlike. So Godlike picking up the gem. Really going to have to be careful not to lose it. Frozen finally getting the Medallion of Courage. BSJ finishing the S and Y. Lokarn spotting out a few players from Wanted in the bottom lane. Roar is once again available.
Ooh, spotting out some wards right now. BSJ doing what he can with the space just to de-ward so he can pick off some more fights. This is some very good gameplay right now. Both teams playing pretty high octane. We're seeing a pretty competitive match right now. Net worth, we have Slark, BSJ at the top with 12,000, followed by 2 MK players, the Lycan on 9,500. Oh, but here in the Radiant Jungle, we have Godlike being caught out by a ward, it looks like. Initiating in is Lokarn trying to catch out this Silencer on the back end, and he's going to do it. BSJ doing what he can. Nice preemptive Dark Pact again, going on the middle, trying to get his SM shift charges up right there, bringing down the Silencer. Would be the Ember Spirit Slayer with a great sleight of fist. And now they're in pursuit. Astral is chasing down this whole team. What a great turnaround. Scream from the Queen of Pain right now, as Wanted now on the runaway, being blocked up a little bit right there is the team of MK. Whoa! What a beautiful battery assault right there to stop that TP out. And that was a 0 for 3 with a 1,400 gold exchange, including a tower right there. Well done by Astral, just to kind of kite out that ultimate. As we were saying, really going to have to be patient and draw out these team fights if they want them to go in their favor.
And that's about a 2,200 gold swing in favor of Astral with that fight.
That's delicious. That is something that you want to see happen right now if you're Astral, especially with the early game plays by MK. Still, check out these graphs. The gold is climbing steadily in Astral's favor. Now over 5,000 gold in their favor. And
BSJ going on Uncle Panda in the mid lane. Does get silenced up. Going to ult away. Does get a great pick off. Lokarn jumping in with the hook onto Manwa. Cogs going down. Scream available. Is the Sonic Wave going to come out? No. Manwa is just going to fall as Slayer jumps in.
Wow, that was a great hook. Catching him as he runs away.
And as Astral moves down towards the Roche pit, Roche going to be up in just under a minute here. Are they going to siege high ground? And if they do, can they get Roche off the back of it? Slayer with a great searing chains off of the Sleight of Fist. Just going to continue to knock away at this tower, getting hit by the Sonic Wave. Slayer just going to go ahead and move out. Does leave the Remnant available so that they can continue the push. Wild Axes coming out.
Their bottom tier, or their top tier 2 for Astral is taking some damage right now from the creep wave, but they don't care. They're going to go for tier 3 right now.
Dropping down the fissure, brings them in on the wrong side, manages to let them take the tower. Slayer dropping in with the Sleight of Fist. Uncle Panda going to follow the right clicks of BSJ. BSJ jumping forward, does take down Haas as well. Lokarn getting blocked up on the hook there by Slayer. Godlike. Fiends grifting up Manwa. Lokarn getting the cogs down in time. Just going to fall to the right clicks of BSJ. Sneaks trying to do what he can. Slayer in a little bit of trouble here is going to fall to the Scream. BSJ focusing down these racks. Does not have ult available to him. Is holding on to the gem. Going to have to be careful here. She does have Scream available to him. And Katsu is about to have the Fissure available as well. No blink on Katsu, however, is going to prevent them from taking down BSJ.
Absolutely. The longer these team fights go, the more in favor it swings to Astral due to the essence shifts. He had 19 essence shift charges, which is 57 agility. That just means he starts machine gunning people down, and even if his damage isn't there, it's going to get there with those essence shifts. So they really have to be cautious of the duration of these team fights and when to initiate.
Rocket from Lokarn is going to scout out the Roshan. Hoff going to go ahead and move the bird into place. Rocket from Lokarn. Again, going to scout out the Roshan. Not going to be able to hit the Hawk. Hawk moves down a little further. Is not going to be scouted out. So seeing the Roshan, one has a tough decision here. Whether or not they want to try to sneak this Roche, or if they think they're going to put themselves in prime position to be able to prevent Astral from taking it. Astral making a slow movement towards the Roche pit. Wards going down for wanted. Lots of wards, not wanting them to be able to smoke in. Really want to contest this Roshan. Rocket flares continuing to come in from Lokarn, but without BSJ there, I don't really think that this is something that they want to contest quite yet. Wanted backing off. Lokarn spotting them out as well. They do have great vision here around the pit, especially with the boar as well. Hoff putting the Hawk back out there as well. BSJ with the gem just going to go ahead and kill the Hawk as well.
Well done right there by BSJ, who now has a Scotty online. His farm is just
coming out of Wanted, moving towards the Roche pit. No, they're going to move into the jungle, hoping to take Astral unawares, or it's possible they don't even see them. Lokarn's Rocket Flare is in the right place. BSJ in a little bit of trouble. Does manage to get away. Slayer moving in with the Sleight of Fist. Lokarn in a little bit of trouble. Force-staffs himself into an unfortunate position. BSJ jumping in, just running through people. Sonic Wave coming out of Sneak. Slayer jumping forward with the Remnant. Sneak's blinking away. Are they going to be able to get Katsu? No, he's going to be able to get out. Slayer, though, with the shackle, with the searing chains and the Sleight of Fist, going to be able to take down Sneaks as well. Buyback only on the Queen of Pain, and this is going to be a free Roshan. BSJ completing his Scotty as well. Hands off the gem to Slayer for the Aegis.
That is extremely smart. Unfortunately for MK, Slayer had a bottled DD rune right there before that fight, so he was able to just really dole out some damage with that Battle Fury that he has at the Sleight of Fist. BSJ again, machine gunning it from the back line. Just disengaged, created some space, and then reinitiated himself on the Beastmaster in the back line, then finding the silencer. So really targeting the supports right now is BSJ on this Slark.
Lokan
Oh!
with the hook, jumping forward. No, manages to miss the cogs. Katsu with the fissure is going to help his teammate escape. Weave going down. Lokarn getting a little low on mana and HP. BSJ wearing down on the racks. Katsu jumping in with the Echo Slam. Not going to be enough to do in Lokarn. BSJ throws down the ult. Hoff getting low. Is going to fall. Katsu dropping down to the Sleight of Fist. Manwa jumping in. Frozen graves himself up. BSJ jumping in with the Dark Pact. Is going to be able to take down the Silencer. Queen of Pain falling as well. And there goes Manwa. Buyback from Sneaks. BSJ in a little bit of trouble.
Boy. Look at those Essence Shift charges on BSJ, just doing some work right now. Great job of Astral and just drawing out the team fights with the spacing of their spells. Not really trying to chain anything up, just trying to create the space for BSJ to do what he does. Going straight for the tier 3s is this BSJ with this Aegis he has. I think it's a good decision for him to do. Nightmaring so he can get out. Well done by Astral right now, getting some racks and dealing some tier 4 damage, excuse me.
BSJ still a little intent here on putting some damage on these towers. Gonna move in. Katsu does have Fissure available. Is he going to be able to bring down this tier 4 tower? He does have Aegis. Katsu dropping down the Fissure. Godlike, though, with the reflexes, manages to pop the BKB. BSJ still not falling to the Sonic Wave. Roar coming out. Frozen in a little bit of trouble, but Hoff dropping low is going to be taken down by the Sleight of Fist. Lokarn with the hook, managing to stun up Sneaks, manages to push him back with the cogs, draining the mana that he needed to blink away.
GG's out right here by MK. Great gameplay. The Slayer, Slayer, BSJ on that Slark. You cannot fight a Slark who has over 30 Essence Shift charges. That's just unreal gameplay right there by Astral. Just taking it to MK even after that early double kill.
So BSJ finishes the game 20-2 on Signature Slark. 224 last hits. I really have to give tip of the cap to Frozen. Again, just like we saw yesterday in the first game, incredible draft by Frozen. Manages to hit all of the high points for his team, looking at the opposing lineup, and then manages to tweak his draft just a little bit to put his carry on a signature hero in a very comfortable spot, able to take complete control of this game.
Absolutely. Well done right there by Astral in using their draft, in which we had initially thought was the weaker of the two, but really kind of establishing that you don't have to have burst team fight in wombo combos to win a game.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We will be back in a few moments with the second game of this JDL series of Astral versus Wanted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for Game 2 of this series between Wanted and Astral Authority in the JDL League, I believe Season 8. We are going to see same sides this time. Wanted choosing to stay on the Dire side, ban out the Doom and the Shadow Fiend first. And we see Astral banning out the Tuskar and the Winter Wyvern. Interesting decisions. Letting the Slardar possibly slip through here. So we see a Darkseer pick up.
That's pretty big. Again, the same bans that we've been seeing with the only added change of Winter Wyvern being in the top 2. First pick Ember again for Astral Authority.
And I mean, it's really hard to knock that Ember Spirit first pick. Slayer's just been playing so well on the hero. We saw it in Game 1 last night. World's End did such a great job of taking it away from Slayer in the second game, causing them to inevitably incur their first loss of the JDL series so far. A Slardar pickup from Wanted.
That early non-ban.
So, Tabes, what do you think? Do you think this Slardar pickup is going to make a difference for this team? You do see the Darkseer, so the Vacuum Wall combo into possibly a Slitherine Crush from a Blink Slardar. It could be deadly. What do you see out of this Wanted lineup so far? Where do you think they're going with this?
Well, I know that Slardar is such an impact hero, especially in this patch. With that, just armor redux is just ridiculous. And he's been in the top 4 bans that we've seen every game that we've been casting, but getting Winter Wyvern instead of the Slardar ban is Astral Authority, and taking advantage of that is Wanted. So I really see a lot of maybe playing into their early playstyle of those pickoffs. There's a lot of opportunity and a lot of different things for Slardar's amplified damage. He's such a utility hero with the sprint, with the bashes, with the Slitherine Crush. A very, very big play hero for Wanted, trying to combat Astral's big plays themselves. Banning out that Slark, a little respect ban right there, coming out from Wanted.
So
I really see a lot of AoE, because Slardar stunning in after that vacuum might see obviously another Earthshaker. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw a Leshrac even right here, especially with that split Earth.
I'd be interested to see if Wanted wants to pick up the Gyrocopter, call down into the Vacuum Wall. Such a great combo, such a great cohesion of 2 heroes. Now, a lot of interesting bans coming out from Astral Authority. Not the usual bans that we see. They ban out the TA, which is a favorite of Slayer. If they wanted to put BSJ on the Ember Spirit, switch things up, as we talked about. Astral is one of those teams that will pick the same lineup but run the heroes in different ways. Very psychological play. We see the Bounty Hunter banned out. Something that they had trouble with yesterday. So just taking a preemptive ban, making sure that if Wanted has done their homework, they're not caught off guard. I feel like Frozen has some type of pocket strategy that they're possibly going to pull out here. They pick up the Dazzle first. The Bane is banned out. So I'm thinking we're going to see a new lineup here for Astral. We do have 2 of the same heroes from last game. But based on the bans, I think we're going to see something drastically different.
Absolutely. Well, they did a great job of combating the wombo combos of the first game for Wanted, which we were initially... Well, we were afraid of that draft. Especially, I would be afraid of that draft if I saw it in any game. Playing against Wanted, that's a very good draft. Crystal Maiden, I'm assuming going to Godlike. great hero with nuking capabilities, especially with the BKB in these team fights that we're talking about, could really be potent in these situations. If you're picking for Wanted right now, seeing what you just saw and with your bans, who do you think your last two heroes would be geared towards?
I still really like the gyrocopter pickup for Wanted. I think it's a solid choice. Last game they didn't really have. They did have the lycanthrope pickup, but not really much in the way of somebody that could put the team on their back for a little while. And there it is, the gyrocopter pickup into the Darkseer wall. Again, going for more of a wombo combo lineup, but this time with a little bit more backbone, a little bit more support to fall back on with the gyrocopter in the carry position. Now,
well said. Very well said.
The silencer has not been picked up or banned out. It'd be interesting to see if Astral would run it as a core. Silencer be a very good hero for disrupting all of these ults. Something that I found last game, I felt like Wanted not running the silencer as a core was a big mistake. And also really Astral was able to pick around it because they picked it up so early. Is that Astral didn't really have a lot of heroes that needed to be silenced. So the silencer pick really fell flat. We do see the clockwork pickup coming up here, and I really, really like this clockwork pickup this time. It is the same, a little bit of the same lineup that we're seeing before, but I feel like this clockwork pickup is going to be so much more effective. We saw such good engagements from Lokarn last time. I think what we're going to see this time is even better because they're playing into Wanted's playstyle. They're wanting to vacuum people together. They're wanting to get them in a small, tight location into the center of that sonic wave cone and into the center of that call down. Clockwork is going to be able to take advantage of that, jump in, throw down the cogs, and then they could all find themselves trapped in a Crystal Maiden ult.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the clockwork, especially with the battery assault to prevent Queen of Pain from getting away with that blink. Also disrupting any other, or not blink, excuse me. Or it is her blink, excuse me. So, and also disrupting other blinks on the back line. I think that we're going to be seeing the same sort of patient playstyle, but with a different target this time. I think it's going to be to a very quick counter initiation because the wombo combo is very biased on the team jumping in all at once. So if Clockwork can at any time be able to jump in and disrupt that combo, it really opens it up for the Crystal Maiden ult to be effective and Ember to get the space. So
I really like
the last pick.
I really like the ban coming out of Wanted, the Sven pickup, very deadly in a situation where they're looking to avoid being... Sven would come in with a cleave and a crit, just like back in the International 2, the Jo Darkseer into the Fear Sven, getting an immediate ultra kill by killing 4 heroes in one cleave. Just incredible play. They don't want to find themselves grouped up and trapped in cogs with a Sven with that cleave on one of the base abilities. I think that if they're going to be beaten down like that, they want to at least have the opportunity to try and delay a Battle Fury. Wow, a Huskar pickup coming out of Astral Authority. I did know that the Disruptor pick was coming out of Wanted. An excellent pickup in response to that Clockwork. Going to be able to, send him back possibly with the hook in before he can get those cogs down, or at least to prevent the battery assault, allow the Queen of Pain to escape. But also being able to silence the Crystal Maiden so she won't be able to get quite as close if she doesn't have a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff to position herself well. A very interesting pickup, the Huskar pick out of BSJ. I really don't know what to expect out of this Astral lineup this game. So on the Dire side, once again, is Team Wanted. Sneaks reprising his role in the Queen of Pain. Manhwa carry once again on the Gyrocopter. Katsu, this time trading up the Earthshaker for the Disruptor. Uncle Panda is on the Slardar, and Hoff on the Darkseer, smoking once again.
Last game they did as well.
So I'll be interested to see here what Uncle Panda decides to do. Is this going to be somewhat of a semi-support-oriented Slardar? I think that could be a huge mistake if they're just going to move him in a utility position. This smoke going to fall completely flat as they find nobody in this bottom lane. Astral learning from last game, moving everybody top.
Looking like we're Godlike is playing the Dazzle this game, which is Frozen's one of his top characters, so I believe Frozen feeling a little bit more confident on the Crystal Maiden. So Godlike can play his Dazzle, ward being down. Noticing that their jungle is probably warded, so giving some instruction to go down and back into lane as such. Runes going respectively 1 to each team. Both mid players. And away we go. Again, on paper, what do you think about these drafts? Who do you think has the upper hand?
So, last time I went with Wanted, I really like the Wombo combo, and I've got to say that I have, not thinking about any heroes, or excuse me, any players here specifically, just based on the draft. I like Wanted's draft a little bit better. The combo, the cohesion is obviously there. But then once you add in the players, the question comes in, is the teamwork there? Is the communication there? We saw a lot of the Wombo combo fall flat last time, didn't get it involved early enough. Are they going to be able to right those wrongs this time around?
Double up top. Disruptor taking a lot of damage. We got a tri-lane off lane for Astral, really throwing off Wanted, I believe, right here, thinking that they were going to be able to get away with it as Lokarn takes safe lane. As you were saying, Ra.
Manwa manning up on Godlike on the Dazzle. Dazzle, no abilities available to him. Dropping a little bit low, does put some right clicks on Manwa, trying to make him burn through this region here. He does have a nice stack of tangos and a salve. Godlike being a little aggressive here. BSJ as well, moving forward, does have those burning spears available. Salve being popped already on Manwa. So it looks like this Uncle Panda is, or this Slardar, excuse me, played by Uncle Panda, is going to be moving into more of a utilitarian role, possibly looking to farm up the jungle here. Does have quite a bit of regen himself, stacking the camp. Katsu with the early glimpse pickup. I'm really not sure that this is the right thing to do here, as we don't really have a lot of heroes initiating. Really the only thing that you can do with that is send back a TPN, and there's the Thunderstrike pickup on the Disruptor. Meanwhile, in the river, Uncle Panda finding Godlike on the Dazzle, going to give him a little bit of chase. Godlike going to return the favor.
Very interesting gameplay right now. Having that Darkseer against the Clockwork is kind of really disadvantageous for Lokarn at bottom lane, but looking to make a move right now. Hoff getting a little aggressive.
Lokarn absolutely going to get that first blood, no question about it. You trap him in the cogs, you've got a creep in there as well, got your battery assault on. No question who's going to win that fight. Darkseer just really not a right clicker.
Mid lane, seeing a little tit for tat action happening right now. Slayer trying to get out. Is he going to be able to survive? Going to go ahead and bottle up. Is it going to be enough to survive this last tick? 3 HP left on Slayer. Looking like they're going to switch out that Huskar right now. Not getting good farm up top, so they're going to go ahead and bring him back down to bottom. And let the two supports get a little bit of farm at top until they can find a better solution.
And it looked like Hoff
right now,
not really, well, he does manage to get away, does have 2 points into Surge. Lokarn's still moving a little faster. He does have the boots to do it. Is he going to be able to get this cogs off? He does manage to get in front of him, gets the cogs off. Hoff melting to the burning spears of BSJ, and he is going to go down, but to the battery assault of Lokarn there. Meanwhile, top lane TP, Lokarn moving top as the supports begin to rotate bottom, and looks like Astral is, in fact, going to change up these lanes, put Lokarn against this tri-lane here. Not quite sure how that's going to work out for him.
Lokarn throwing out a little bit of a taunt right there in lane. I really like this draft for Astral, now that I see where it's going, allowing Lokarn to buy boots early with that arcane aura, so he doesn't really have to worry about the mana regen as much. Mid lane, I really am liking this draft right now from Astral, allowing their heroes to spam a little bit more. With a draft that's really kind of geared towards the success of Huskar, the core is really showing their stuff right here for Astral. As Wanted looks like they're more of defending this instead of putting the pressure on, which is what their draft is supposed to have them do. Let's break down these lanes since we haven't done it just yet. Top lane, we had a switch. Lokarn now solo off lane after being in safe lane, securing 2 kills. Mid lane, having some action happen right now as Sneak's trying to get down to Slayer. Slayer doing what he can, has a blink away, gonna use it. Bottle up back there. Mid lane, we have Slayer versus Slayer's Ember Spirit versus Sneaks on Queen of Pain as of last game. BSJ now in the safe lane. Earlier starting off in the off lane. With Godlike on the Dazzle supporting him. Looking at these lanes, I am in fear for the off lanes. Both off lanes being melee heroes, so in order to get any sort of farm, have to engage to a point of dangerous for Astral's Flaming Spears and Wanted's Gyrocopter's Rocket Barrage combination with the kinetic field of Disruptor.
So, an interesting move. Lokarn already level 6 here at 5 minutes. Does have the hook available to him, possibly looking for a gank. Slayer providing a little bit of vision. Lokarn is looking for that hook. Gonna move further into the jungle. Gonna run into Hoff here.
Is he gonna find Hoff?
Hoff a little low health here. He is gonna be able to get him. Unless he misses his hook. Oh no! Lokarn misses the hook! Gonna have to turn around immediately. Sneaks moving in. Lokarn with the battery assault. Not a great move by Sneaks. Is gonna manage to bring him down. The Shadow Strike doing quite a bit of damage to Lokarn. Is gonna need a bottle charge possibly from his friend Slayer here. Moving away. Is Lokarn gonna be able to survive? It looks like he will.
This is some great early gameplay. Very different from what we saw last game on Lokarn's Clockwork, who was kind of just fending for himself. But now, that early game space, 5 minute level 6, allowing him to rotate a little bit more. This is the epitome of watching a hero snowball. If he can maintain his lead up here, then that's spelling trouble for Wanted, especially if he can get Blade Mail, Aghanim's. It really makes him an invalid target as he can initiate and deal some serious damage.
So something that I really like is that both teams, seeing that something wasn't working, decided to change their lanes up. Darkseer now in the jungle. They're going to put the Slardar in the off lane, going to move him into more of a core role, which I do like. The only thing that I don't really like out of Wanted's draft is knowing, or at least assuming, that Slayer would be reprising his role on the Ember Spirit. After dominating the Queen of Pain in the mid lane in the last game, why would you choose to put that Queen of Pain matchup on him again?
I guess just maybe thinking that being at this level of gameplay...
Mid lane, Slayer moving in, gets Sneaks down to a low level, does have Flame Guard on. But Uncle Panda moving in is going to help Sneaks get away there.
Right. Going back to earlier about reprising or having a rematch more of, I think at this level of gameplay you have to have confidence in yourself and your hero choices as a player. So not really, I guess, relying or realizing too much of what happened in the game before, more of like a let loose and let
Slayer
go kind
remnanting
of thing.
forward. Queen of Pain throwing down the Sonic Wave. Slayer with the Sleight of Fist is going to be able to get her down. Hoff moving in. Lokarn jumping forward. Wall coming out, but no vacuum. Slayer does fall to the Spectral Dagger, but Lokarn coming in with a great hook, trying to save his teammate, and managing to get the Darkseer to waste the Illusion Wall.
That's some clean play right there. BSJ has his armlet. Very scary on a Huskar. Looking to make a move right here on the Slardar. Nope. Gonna just go do his thing on the farm. Maybe waiting for that lifesteal before he does anything a little too crazy. There's that amp damage we were talking about. Uh, that's a great counter against the Berserker Blood of Huskar.
Lokarn already with a blade mail here at just under 9 minutes is really just what we were talking about as we watched Astral go down to World's End last night in the second game of the 2 series. Lokarn only 7 seconds away from Hook moving forward, but the battery assault does manage to trap Katsu in the cogs. Gets sent away, though, by the glimpse. Is Lokarn's ability to stay relevant no matter what lane he's in really helps Astral get a leg up in these games. Lokarn sitting at just 4th in net worth. Meanwhile, Uncle Panda dropping the Slitherine Crush as Lokarn gets trapped up in the call down. Does go down, but manages to take Gyrocopter with him.
Right. That's a 500 gold swing, though. This early in the game. Really great for Gyrocopter to get a hold of that, although net worth chart speaks for itself.
Only getting a little bit more gold than Lokarn did, because he did end a mega killing streak by Lokarn. Godlike with the haste rune, just narrowly going to miss Hoff, who's taken to farming the Radiant jungle here.
Risky move right there.
BSJ choosing to go for his Helm of Iron Will first instead of for the lifesteal.
Right. I think that's smart. Trying to combat as much as he can that amp damage. Get some extra armor, get some extra regen. He's at toggle zone anyway right now with Huskar. He's just going to melt this tower down when he can. Yeah, nothing really they can do right there without rotating the team up top.
Jumping forward, BSJ with a great toggle does manage to miss the Sonic Wave. Godlike with an incredible grave here. BSJ just continuing his toggle. Unfortunate move by Katsu to glimpse BSJ out of his teammate's Sonic Wave. BSJ jumping forward with the triple kill. And that is not how Wanted envisioned that fight going at all.
Yikes. It's always super scary when you initiate on a Huskar without CC when he's in the toggle zone, I call it. Up top, Lokarn trying to do what he can. Almost got the Slardar earlier before that team fight happened, and he's just going to pull the creep wave away. As BSJ pushes into tier 2 at bottom, really using the space that Lokarn created. Walking into something. Is it going to be anything? No. Lokarn seeing it. Ooh, being saved by his teammate. Great plays right now. Good map awareness. This is looking almost disastrous for Wanted right now, as they don't have any CC really to combat BSJ without sacrificing a couple of heroes' lives.
And a lesser known fact, you know, Slark is at the top of BSJ's hero list. Huskar is right there underneath Slark. Not really a common pickup that you see. Huskar, one of BSJ's better heroes, probably top 3, and if not, at least top 5. And I'm, again, really loving these drafts out of Frozen, managing to know what to draft at the right time to get his players the heroes that they need.
Ooh, BSJ.
BSJ jumping forward, Weave coming out of Dazzle, Uncle Panda dropping low, Katsu going to miss the ult here. Darkseer going to drop in with the illusion wall. Lokarn jumping in with the hook does manage to take care of Hoff. Cogs keeping Wanted on the low ground. Unfortunate for Godlike as he drops low. Slayer jumping into the fight as Lokarn falls. Does manage to take out Manhwa. Is Slayer going to be able to remnant away, pulling everybody up onto the high ground? Does have a remnant available. Is he going to be able to toss it somewhere that he can get away? Uncle Panda moving forward with the sprint, has the Slitherine Crush available. Slayer just going to throw down the Searing Chains, does not have enough to remnant away, does have some wand charges, going to get glimpsed back into the kinetic field. Is he going to the fall to the Darkseer? He has the Flame Guard up, but Darkseer is just going to prove too much for him. Uncle Panda dropping low to the hits of the tower. Godlike is TP'd in, moving forward, trying to get that last hit, is getting chased down by the creep wave, decides better and moves away. BSJ finally with the Helm of the Dominator up, moves back into lane.
Wow, what a great team fight right there from Wanted. He threw the kinetic field on the supports, watching the Huskar jumping in, really depending on that shallow grave. If that not happened, BSJ very well might have just wiped their entire team right there. So very good heads-up play right now by Katsu on the Disruptor, proving that that was a really good last pick against this lineup.
Lokarn with the hook in on Manwa in the jungle. TP coming out from Slardar, but it's just going to be too late. Lokarn absolutely obliterating the gyrocopter. Great scouting with the rocket flare. Excellent waiting on the timing for the hook in, making sure he hit it just right. Just excellent play again from the offlaner. Now sitting just under BSJ at net worth. This is truly a dominant game for Astral, piggybacking off of the success of their offlaner.
Oh, getting caught out right now. Uncle Panda, is it going to be enough? He gets that amplified damage off, but it's just too much. CC killing himself on the blade mail is the Slardar. Lokarn, again, showing that he's staying pertinent no matter what time it is in the game. BSJ acquiring the Aegis in the meantime, using that DD to bring down Roshan with the Flaming Spears.
Slayer.
Oh boy, this is really
noticing Hoff in the jungle, moves forward with the Remnant, throws down the Searing Chains. Hoff popping the Mechanism. Katsu moving forward, throws down the Kinetic Field, does toss out another Remnant trying to get Hoff, but Katsu is going to manage to get him away with the Glimpse. Lokarn coming in, making sure to secure the kill, gets him with the Rocket Flare. Excellent movement and teamwork from the two solo laners of Astral. Meanwhile, middle lane, BSJ just going to work on this middle tower, jumping in on Sneak. Sneak's going to blink away. Not before he takes a little bit of flame damage from these burning spears, and BSJ just going to melt through this tower as he starts to toggle. Frozen, or excuse me, Godlike with an urn to help out his carry there. BSJ just absolutely dominating this game. Sitting at 4-1, has the Aegis in his pocket.
Good gracious, man. This is just a hero that is so terrifying to see ball in any situation. If he gets that early farm, like he did this game, he gets that BKB, he just can tear teams apart. It's just scary. Looking to make a move right here on Slardar as Team Astral using the CMS bait.
BSJ just going to go ahead and jump in on that ult. Uncle Panda trying to get away. Oh, the Helm of the Dominator out of BSJ with the Mud Golem. Getting the stun, making sure to secure the kill. Just excellent micro from the carry.
Helm of the Dominator, such an OP item. I know that Aoi 2000 is a very big fan of the Helm of Dominator just because of its utility uses. You can take control of a creep. You can farm out a separate lane if you're in another lane, and if they are about to kill that creep, you can simply just disassemble the Helm of the Dominator and it kills the creep. So Helm of the Dominator being used to perfection right there is Huskar's BSJ, or BSJ's Huskar, excuse me. Lokarn, a little bit of trouble at bottom, trying to make some moves, burning out quite the amount of ultimates.
If they get the TPs in that they need, Lokarn possibly just looking to make the cogs off. No, they're just going to, oh, well, they are going to fort this tower. Going to try and buy themselves some time. And the top lane Slayer TPing back to base. They are going to let this tower fall. Lokarn in danger of being spotted out here. He does throw the rocket flare. Hoff moving forward. Lokarn pops a battery assault, gets him caught up in the cogs. Is Hoff going to be able to get out? He does throw down the surge, but not before Lokarn gets the last hit. Moving in on Sneaks now. Lokarn dropping away as the Spectral Dagger does its work. Sneaks wanting to give chase. Lokarn hooks away to the neutral creeps.
Look at that space usage, though. BSJ at top lane, getting a kill and going into tier 3. Lokarn really trying to disrupt. His goal right there is just to disrupt the TPs coming out, so his team, which is very strong, and just the 3 of them right there, they can't get any support on the side of Wanted, so really playing a role and even getting a kill is just icing on the cake right there.
Slayer popping the Searing Chains, binding Sneaks in place. BSJ moving forward, jumping really far onto Katsu. Katsu just going to force staff his way into the base. BSJ going to get stunned up by the Slithering Crush, just going to move back out. Manwa already dropped the call down, moving forward to Slayer. Slayer just taking care of the Queen of Pain, does go down to Uncle Panda with the Slithering Crush. BSJ with the Lotus Orb on him is going to drop the Aegis. Manwa dropping low. Frozen trying to get out is going to go down to the Thunderstrike. BSJ back up. Doesn't have the Lotus Orb available, but for 2 more seconds, get caught in the illusion wall. BSJ doing work on Uncle Panda. Lokarn jumping in with the hook. Moving forward, Cogs out. The Darkseer, excuse me. Yes, the Darkseer. BSJ finally dropping. Lokarn trying to get out. Force staffs himself to the low ground. Is going to get sent back into the base by Katsu and is going to fall. What an incredible team fight. Moving in a little too far was Astral, but they've still taken a dominating lead here. They may have lost 4 heroes, but they did it for a lane of racks and 3 kills.
Oof, man, that is just great gameplay right there. And that's the scary part of not having too much CC, is that when you do use all of your spells early and you can't kill that Huskar, he literally will just sit there and tear you in half, which is what he did. He was by himself after Lokarn had evacuated the premises and just took down 3 heroes, so that's terrifying.
And I think what we're going to see now is just a complete steady roll unless, you know, Team Wanted here can find some footing. They are going to smoke up. They do need another team fight like the last one, but the Gyrocopter still sitting in 4th at 8,000 net worth. Team Astral sitting at 1,400. Panda jumping in, gets the stun down onto BSJ, and BSJ just going to fall real fast. Great pickoff, 484 gold going the way Queen of Pain. Lokarn jumping in, Cogs up, doesn't get the battery assault off in time as Sneaks manages to jump away. Katsu moving away with the Glimmer Cape. Uncle Panda gets the Slithering Crush down again, and Lokarn going to throw his life away. Frozen jumping in, Glimmer Caping away.
Not really sure what he was trying to do.
The Static Storm really doing its work there. Frozen could have probably turned that fight on its head with a good freezing field. Katsu doing a very good job of stepping up and putting some crowd control into these team fights. Right. Still, though, all of Astral's core is sitting above the Gyrocopter as the top for Wanted, only sitting at about 9,000 net worth. Astral sitting at a, I believe, yes, dropping down from 15,000 to a 10,000 gold lead. Still a very, very hefty lead in favor of the Radiant side.
Well, Blink coming out on Slardar right now after those fights, really allowing him to get that currency. So playmaking can now really start happening for Wanted. I agree in the fact that their cores are very high up there. But in any game of Dota, you really have to be conscious of your hero deaths. The rubber banding effect is real, so we really have to pay attention to Astral. And if they do throw this game, Wanted has the lineup to take it back. So just as you were saying, a couple of team fights right here, and Wanted is back in it.
Absolutely. BSJ with that Lotus Orb pickup. Roshan probably only about a minute or 2 from coming back up. Warding up the area very well. Lokarn missing a hook. Rare occurrence. Is going to rocket flare up, moving in towards the Gyrocopter. Going to have to be careful here. Uncle Panda does have the Blink Dagger. Slayer going to slide a fist and Searing Chains up. Going to throw on the Flame Guard just for good measure. Is thinking about moving in. Lokarn. BSJ jumping in on the Queen of Pain as she blinks away. Gonna try and get Uncle Panda as he's Glimmer Caped away. Lokarn hooking in. Does get the Cogs in such a good spot to keep Katsu down on the low ground. Oh my goodness, an incredible sonic wave coming out of the Queen of Pain, but BSJ, graved up, is just going to be able to fight through it. Armlet toggling down, Sneaks jumping away, but BSJ doesn't even care. He's jumping past the tier 4s. He's got his Lotus Orb on. He is going to back up. Queen of Pain going to jump into the fountain. Manhwa buying back as Slayer with the double damage rune, just doling out the damage to this tier 3 tower. It is going to fall shortly. BSJ Glimmer Cape dumped after being hit by the stun, and they're just going to go to work on this second set of racks. And again, we see Slayer with a clutch double damage rune at the most opportune time. A really good team fight. Great cohesion coming out of Astral. Lokarn managing to get the Cogs in exactly the right place that they needed. It really put a hindrance on that Darkseer Illusion Wall vacuum combo.
That was a fantastic initiation. As we were talking about, the patience from Lokarn, really looking for the right opportunity to jump in, and he didn't jump in initially when the rest of his team is. He jumped in to block them from escaping, which is just really superb gameplay. And again, as we see a very big theme right here with Astral is knowing the heroes you play. So BSJ, though, in trouble right now. Doesn't see uphill that there's all of them there. Slayer.
BSJ jumping forward with Lotus Orb on top of him. Uncle Panda going to Slitherine Crush and move away under the guise of Glimmercape. Manwa jumping in. Sonic Wave going out. Manwa has dropped the call down. Is going to fall immediately. Sneaks moving in. Godlike is graved up. Sneaks beginning to fall. BSJ still with that armlet toggle ulting forward. Hoff going to be the next to fall as well. Lokarn taking care of Uncle Panda on the Slardar, and Katsu is going to be the only one to get away. No buyback available on this wanted team, and this could be the GG. And there it is. A 2-0 victory. Astral playing with a chip on their shoulder after losing the second game last night, dropping their first game ever in the JDL series. Comebacks today with an incredible 2-0 victory.
Ooh, that is just scary. You cannot let heroes do that. And I think that Astral just played perfectly with their lineup, really isolating some heroes so that they can obtain some farm. And then Lokarn's amazing clockwork game was just really enabling for his team, allowing BSJ to just sit there and hit people and burn them to death. Fantastic gameplay out of Astral.
Absolutely. Excellent in-game calls coming out. Again, hats off to Frozen, making just an incredible draft, knowing what to ban and knowing what to move in on this lineup of Wanted, managing to put his players in comfortable heroes, signature heroes, in a good position for these incredible stomps that we've seen today.
Absolutely. A lot of credit goes to Frozen on the drafts. Like, both of the games, we agreed that Wanted had a fantastic draft, but you don't just draft for the paper form, you draft knowing your players. So Frozen doing a really great job right there of drafting so his players can play the heroes that they are very comfortable with, and it showed.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this two-game matchup in the JDL Series 8 of Astral Authority. If you want to catch more Astral Authority games, make sure to join us on twitch.tv/Elon Rafi. I'll be casting with my co-caster Tabes here as much as possible. You will be able to view when I go live if you follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/RafiDota. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Have a good one.